Hello, everyone. Welcome to the reading for today. This is about a conversation that might have happened recently where you were the topic. Take what resonates, leave the rest. You know your situation best. But you guys, the energy I'm picking up on suggests someone's been talking about you, not necessarily in a bad way, but definitely in a significant way. And what they said might surprise you if you knew about it. When I say secret chat, I don't mean they're plotting against you or anything sinister. More like a private conversation, maybe with a friend, maybe with a confidant, someone they trust enough to be honest with about how they feel or what they're thinking. And you came up, your name came up, and what was said reveals things they probably haven't told you directly yet. Let's explore what's coming through, who might have been talking, what the conversation could have been about, why it matters. Trust your intuition as we go. You might already have a sense of who this energy is pointing toward. So let me start with who was probably doing the talking, because that context matters for understanding what was said. For a lot of you watching, this seems like someone you have history with, someone you're involved with romantically or used to be involved with. Could be a current partner, could be someone you're dating casually, could be an ex who still thinks about you even though you're not together anymore. Someone whose feelings about you are complicated enough that they need to process them with other people. And they probably talk to someone close to them, a best friend, a sibling, someone whose opinion they value, someone they trust to be honest with them. Because what they're dealing with regarding you seems big enough that they can't just keep it to themselves. They need outside perspective, need to say things out loud to someone who will listen without judgment. Now, let me talk about what this conversation might have included, because the energy around it feels pretty specific. Seems like they were probably being more honest than they've been with you, saying things they haven't figured out how to say to your face yet, maybe admitting feelings they've been hiding, or expressing concerns they've been keeping quiet, or revealing how much you actually matter to them when they've been playing it cool around you. For some of you, this conversation might have been about them admitting they care more than they've shown. Like maybe around you they act casual or indifferent, but to their friend, they're saying something different. I actually really like them. I can't stop thinking about them. I'm scared I'm catching real feelings. That kind of admission that they're not ready to make directly to you yet. For others, this chat could have been about them working through confusion. Maybe they're not sure what they want, not sure if pursuing something with you is the right move, and they're talking it through with someone they trust, weighing pros and cons out loud, trying to figure out their feelings by speaking them, using their friend as a sounding board for decisions they're trying to make about you and them. And for some of you, the conversation might have been defensive, like maybe someone else brought you up, asked them about you, and they had to respond, had to explain their relationship with you or their feelings about you. And what they said in that moment of being put on the spot might have been more revealing than what they usually volunteer. You guys, have you noticed this person acting differently toward you lately? Like maybe something shifted after they had whatever conversation they had? Sometimes talking about our feelings to someone else clarifies them for us, makes them more real. And after that clarifying conversation, people often start behaving differently, more intentional, more direct, or sometimes more distant if the conversation made them realize they need to pull back. So, if you've sensed a shift in someone's energy toward you recently, this chat could be why. They talked about you, processed something about you, and that processing changed how they're showing up with you now. Let me talk about what specifically they might have said, because the energy feels like it could go a few different directions. One possibility is they were talking about how much they're into you, like really into you, more than they've let on. I think I'm falling for them. They're different than anyone I've dated before. I'm scared because I actually see potential here. That kind of vulnerability, they're not ready to show you directly, but they needed to. Voice to someone. Another possibility is they were talking about timing, about how you might be right for them, but the timing feels wrong, or how they want to pursue this, but they've got other stuff going on that complicates it, or how they know they should probably make a move, but they're scared or uncertain or dealing with things that make them hesitate. Or maybe they were talking about the connection itself, about how things between you two feel different, feel significant, feel like something that could turn into something real if both of you lean into it. And they're trying to figure out if they should pursue that or protect themselves from potential hurt by keeping distance. And there's also a chance they were talking about you in comparison to someone else. Like if they're dating multiple people, or if there's an ex still in the picture, they might have been explaining to their friend how you make them feel versus how someone else makes them feel. And in that comparison, you might have come out favorably. Like when I'm with them, it just feels right in a way it doesn't with anyone else. Now, here's what's interesting about secret conversations. People often say things privately that they're not ready to say publicly. So, whatever was said in that chat probably represents truth, how they actually feel, what they're actually thinking. But it might not represent action they're ready to take yet. Like they can admit to their friend, I really like them, while still not being ready to admit that to you. Can acknowledge feelings privately while still keeping those feelings hidden from you publicly. And that gap between what they said in that chat and what they're willing to show you directly can be frustrating. If you knew what they said, you'd probably want them to just be honest with you, to stop hiding or playing games or being confusing. But people move at their own pace with vulnerability. They need to feel safe before they open up. And sometimes talking to a friend first is how they work up to eventually being honest with you. Drop a comment if you think you know who was talking about you. If someone specific came to mind when this reading started, because I think a lot of you watching have a sense. Maybe you felt their energy around you changing. Maybe you've noticed them acting differently. Maybe your intuition's been telling you something's going on beneath the surface with this person. And if you're picking up on that, you're probably right. Your intuition reads shifts before your conscious mind understands them. So if this person feels different lately, if the energy between you feels charged or significant or complicated, that's probably real. And this conversation they had might be part of why things feel different. You know what else I'm sensing? This chat might lead to action eventually. Talking about feelings often creates momentum toward expressing them. Like once you've said out loud to someone, I really like them, it becomes harder to keep pretending you don't. The confession to the friend makes the feelings more real, more undeniable, and that often pushes people toward eventually being honest with the actual person they have feelings for. So, this secret conversation could be the beginning of them working up to being direct with you. They talk to their friend first, process their feelings, get advice or encouragement or just clarity from saying things out loud. And then when they're ready, they might come to you with some version of what they said in that private chat. But timing on that is hard to predict. Could be soon. Could be they're still building courage. Could be they're waiting for some sign from you that you'd be receptive. Could be they're dealing with other complications that need to resolve first. All you can really do is stay aware and see what unfolds. Let me talk about how you might navigate knowing this conversation probably happened. Even though you weren't there and don't know exactly what was said, first, don't confront them about it unless you have actual information. This reading is picking up energy, not giving you facts to weaponize. If you go to them saying, I know you were talking about me, they'll probably deny it or get defensive. Better to just stay aware that something might be shifting beneath the surface. Second, watch their behavior more than trying to guess their words. What they said in that chat matters less than how they show up with you. Are they treating you differently? Being more attentive, more distant, more intentional? Their actions will eventually reveal what their private words were about. Third, if you want clarity from this person, you can create openings for honesty, not by accusing them of talking about you, but by being direct in yourself. I feel like something shifted between us. Is there something you want to talk about? Where's your head at with this? Give them space to be honest if they're ready. Fourth, manage your expectations about what you might learn. Just because they talked about you doesn't mean what they said was all positive. Could be they were working through doubts. Could be they were explaining why they're not ready to pursue something. Could be the conversation was more complicated than just, I like them and want to be with them. Fifth, don't let this make you paranoid about people talking about you. People talk, it's normal, especially when they're processing feelings or making decisions. It doesn't mean they're betraying you or being fake. It means they're human and they need to work through things sometimes with trusted people. Let me ask you something. If you could have been a fly on the wall for that conversation, would you want to know everything that was said? Part of you probably says yes, wants full information, wants to know exactly how they feel and what they're thinking. But the other part might recognize that sometimes partial information is harder than no information because now you know they talked about you, but you don't know what was said. And that unknown creates space for your mind to fill in blanks that might not be accurate. Your mind might assume they said really positive things when actually the conversation was more neutral, or you might worry they said negative things when actually they were being complimentary. Without knowing specifics, you can drive yourself crazy imagining scenarios. So maybe it's better to just know that, yes, you're on their mind enough that you came up in conversation, and let that be enough information for now. Here's what I want you to understand about this chat. Whatever was said, it means you matter to this person. People don't have extended conversations about people who are insignificant to them. If they're talking about you to their trusted friend, you're taking up mental and emotional space for them. Maybe in good ways, maybe in complicated ways, but definitely in ways that mean you're not just a casual acquaintance they barely think about. And that mattering creates possibility. Possibility that something could develop between you if that's what you both want. Possibility that feelings exist that haven't been fully expressed yet. Possibility that what's currently undefined could become something defined if communication opens up. But mattering also creates responsibility. If you know someone's probably processing feelings about you, you have some responsibility to be clear about your own feelings. Don't string them along if you're not interested. Don't play games or keep them guessing just because you like the attention. Be honest about where you're at so they can make informed choices about what to do with their feelings. You know what else I'm picking up? The friend they talked to might have given them advice, and that advice might influence what they do next. If their friend encouraged them to go for it, they might become more bold, more direct. If their friend warned them to be careful or pointed out potential issues, they might pull back, become more cautious. The people we confide in have influence over our decisions, especially when we're uncertain. So, whatever happens next with this person might be partly shaped by that conversation, by what their friend said back to them, by the perspective they got from talking through their feelings. And you have no control over that. All you can control is how you show up and what you communicate about your own feelings and intentions. Take what resonates from this reading, everyone. A conversation about you probably went down recently. Someone was talking about you, processing feelings about you, working through thoughts about what you mean to them or what they want with you. And whatever was said in that private moment might eventually lead to something being said to you directly, or it might not. But either way, you're on someone's mind in significant ways. Trust your inner knowing. Trust that you'll handle whatever comes from this situation with wisdom. Trust that being talked about isn't inherently good or bad, it just is. Trust that the right things will be revealed at the right time. And trust that you don't need to know every private conversation to navigate your relationships well. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching this reading. I appreciate all of you. Blessings to everyone watching. Take care of yourselves. Stay grounded in your own truth, regardless of what others might be saying about you. You're exactly where you need to be. Being thought about, being talked about, mattering enough to someone that you became the topic of their private conversation. Have a beautiful day, everyone.